Hello there everyone, this is I Am Mark III, and welcome back to From the Depths, Terraphobic. Fear the land beneath your feet, for no doubt it plots to consume our very souls. Some of that may or may not be the literal truth. I'll leave it to you to decide which it is. Just on pause there so we can get moving. So, it's almost like it's been, what, 3 weeks? No, it totally hasn't. No, definitely not. Not at all. It's not been 3 weeks since last part. You're imagining things. No, my apologies. Terraphobic, I think, sets a new record. It wasn't planned to be delayed this long, but things just got confused in the end of the day. I'm also wondering if my microphone's... There we go, we suddenly have sound. Bloody hell. I'm just struggling to hear it. I think it's because there's a new sound setting I noticed, which is like repetitive sound decreased by 50%, which I don't think was in there last time I recorded. There has been an update since then. So while the jet was flying, I thought, you know, that's not actually doing anything, but it actually was. So, we have some things to do. Let's unhitch my camera and get it moving. First things first, the material ferry is now the material ferry. So, yeah, we are going with the naming thing. And the second thing is we actually need to refit the material harvesters to the latest and greatest version, which I tweaked between sessions, which is the miner mic. So, it's a slight bit more expensive, as you can see, but you can also see the problem with the current version, which is it's just sitting there on the ground. And the update sacrificed a tiny bit of potential for the cargo, but it also allows it to take off automatically by itself by the inclusion of additional ACB, so off it goes. I think it also has some remote repair capability as well, in a very minor sense. Yeah, just on there on the top. So that means that these things can also serve to build things that I spawn in near them, and or repair other nearby craft as well. There was another comment about the miners actually, which is from Mr. Razul. May I suggest 3 ACBs? On every second, set spin block to 0, and then 2 more ACBs. I am condensing his comment here, but it's the same deal. One that responds to the AI going forward, and one that responds to the AI going back. Yeah, that would be good for a craft that didn't wander around a little bit like this guy does. Must admit to that. But honestly, I kind of like having this little ball of junk just meandering around uncontrollably, or, well, semi-uncontrollably. I don't know. I think that's part of the charm of this little miner. Though honestly, the material ferry did get a lot more concern. Oh, and in my quest for volume, I turned the volume too high. Hang on. There's other things I need to do really quickly, which is I need to get out to here. And also manage some respawning and stuff in this area as well.
Yes?
Hello. Play you guys.
Listening.
Because we've got to, of course, refit these guys to the new version as well. Retrofit you to a miner mic. Thank you. You're all sorted. And then I'm actually going to scrap the derrick, because we don't need it anymore. So the land rig. Delete you, yep. And it just blew away like it was in the wind. That's a bit weird, I wasn't expecting that. Okay. And from it there, I thought the dirt scraper was also coming together. Dirt scraper, you're a miner mic. Well, I guess because it's like it's not there, it's just gonna keep that name, isn't it? Yeah, miner mic. It's just the fleet that's not updated. Oh well. Just let's get the other one up there as well. While I talk about something else, there was a big problem last time regarding getting the ferry up and running. Which, actually, as it turns out, was me being a complete and utter idiot. I was half suspecting this was the case, I must admit. But it turns out I'm an even bigger idiot than I thought I was. retrofit you to a minor mic. Thank you. Off you go. You can now fly. And there's a... What's that oil pipe even harvesting? I have no idea. But yeah, basically it was me being an idiot and too rusty. But the thing is, even though I asked around a little bit, I didn't get an answer. So that is a very minor factor in why it's been so long. Though the main thing is just life. Life, the universe, and what an absolute pain it can be sometimes. So, I'm probably going to forget this again at some point, but I'm going to run you through it anyway. Pull all out. I want my... I do wish this was a bit clearer.
Yes. Yes.
I want
Yes.
the support fleet, which is... Here we go, the material ferry. Right. So, it is shift with a ship that's in patrol mode.
Moving out.
So, I press shift, shift, shift. You see how these big dots are appearing? Big circles? When I shift back in there, they suddenly get smaller. Right? We saw that last time. There's no need to press control, which was one of the responses I got. Thank you for the attempt there, by the way, Welner. Much appreciated. But control is not needed, because what happens is, if it's got these dots, even though the line disappears behind it, when it reaches the next one, it resets itself. So the key is for the big circles which show the waypoints to go small, and then it is set as a patrol. It just took far, far, far too long to understand that. So, yeah, my bad. My apologies. Let's keep on going, and let's actually set this guy to wander around. Actually, that's probably wandering way too close, isn't it?
Moving out.
Doesn't need to get that close.
Moving out. Moving out.
Come on.
Moving out.
And then I set you to go to...
Moving out.
Here, and then to...
Moving out.
There we go. It's gone small. It's locked in. Right. All set. We should now have our material fairy being a good little fairy and wandering around and giving us all sorts of doodah and stuff like that. I kind of wish that the terrain wasn't quite so bright because it makes it a bit harder to see these green circles and things for resource range, but hey. I should also rename this force name as well. This is the force name material fairy. No, fleet name. There we go, fleet name. Because it's not called vehicle. This is the supply fairy fleet. Yes, the fairies. Honestly, yeah. Both of my designs last time didn't, honestly, neither of them were quite successful. They're both junkers. They're both incomplete. They're both very much scrap. But honestly, the fairy attracted more criticism than the mic did. Must admit to that one.
Yes.
Let's get you guys all spawned back in, please. And honestly, the biggest piece of criticism was that some guys didn't understand why the fairy was built up so carefully. You know? Like, why is it built like that? So I took so long balancing the thing. It's like, it's meant to be this thing that won't even be spawned in all the time. Why are you bothering to balance it like that? And also, why wasn't it an airship? Why didn't it have balloons on it? Why isn't it propeller driven? That's disappointing. And honestly, yeah, I see exactly where all that's coming from. And I must respond with two things while I very quickly get a dock in here. Just to hold something in place, thank you. And I will load in a new material fairy. There we go. By the way, the minor mic is 2,400, the material fairy itself is 5,092. Right, so why didn't I go with balloons and propellers? It would have been very thematic, but the problem is that it would be like, yeah, as you can see, it's trying to correct itself because it's not being held comfortably, so it's very unhappy about things. Right. The problem with it is that, one, I'm not comfortable with balloon craft. So balloons will probably appear again as we get a bit more experimental. Second, Rather than propellers, I've got jets because I want this thing to be fast. So really, really fast. And third, because quite simply, this is not going to be the only incarnation of Yon Fairy. Let's just get straight pipes here and flatten these things out a little bit. So, yeah, this thing is not going to be like... actually, I want those to be the same. It's a very stable platform. That's what I'm getting at. It's built for sheer stability. So what I'm doing now is I am stripping out... Right, thank you. I've just stripped out almost all of its cargo capacity, right? And what I've been left with is this very skeletal frame that is all built up and it's fully stable. It can fly itself. Well, it's stable-ish. It's having a few issues. And then again, it's being held at an uncomfortable height as well. But we can take this and we can turn it into a stopgap defensive unit. And that's what I was intending to do with it. So we can take the parts, we can reinforce it. I think a metal wedge would probably be suitable there. Take away the bottom bits underneath. So yeah, we're just starting to reinforce the frame a little bit. Still going to be the same basic thing, but I'm going to turn this thing into a bit of a missile carrier. So that's kind of what I'm doing with it. What I want now is a... Actually... Yeah, behind there is fine. Let's do a beam 2 followed by a downslope 2. So again, we're going with shaping a little bit, but we don't have that long left, in all honesty, before the local nasties are probably going to start gunning for us. So we need to get this thing sorted out. So, wireless receiver. Okay, and we need a wireless transmitter to go onto the AI. And what we're getting now is a kind of slapped together defensive addition. Actually, we don't need that on this crap. Actually, we do. Yeah, let's get that. We're going to need a AI, of course, the wireless to connect to the AI. But we're still basically repurposing an existing craft into a combat unit. Now, why are you guys still red? Controlling 0 weapons. Oh, that's why. Okay. Don't worry, you'll get your weapons to control in a few moments. But yeah. I hope you guys are okay with me doing this, but I think this is kind of what I want to do with it. You know? At least to start out. And we've got the ACBs under there, which I forgot about for a moment there. What do you got? You are the activate on command. Oh yeah. You guys are the ACBs that actually let it fly. Fine, we'll move you. Clear out this space a little bit. And we'll move you back a little bit. So, place a prefab, complex control ACB set. Still most useful set I've put together, must admit. But I'm going to slap you at the back here around the RTGs. I'm going to keep the RTGs, by the way, because it's like still repurposed from something else. But I'm also going to put in some ammo supplies back here. Can't have a weapon system without ammo, can we? Well, we can, but it's probably not going to be a very good system. And I know, this is going to be an absolutely terrible craft in many, many, many ways. It's not going to do too well. But hey, it is what it is, and it will be what it will be. New objects, 2-axis turret, 1-axis standard turret, pointing sideways. There we go. And honestly, all it needs to be is a missile carrier. That's all I've got planned for it. So, missile connectors. Oh, strap it. It needs to go vertical, of course, because of how it's oriented. So 6 tube. That should be quite nice, I think. That's the connectors sorted out. Then we need the launch pads. And then we'll have the rest. This thing is probably not going to do... Well, it's going to be enough to fend off a few things. At most, I think. Wait a tick. In the moment between me testing the game to see if it was running right and then reloading, there was an update. I'm not on the experimental branch, I'm on the main branch. Apparently, literally today, as I sat down to record this, we've got an update. The new missile system's just come in. Oh, lovely. I have no idea what I'm doing now. Thanks for that. Small launch. Okay. How's that for timing? Flippin' heck. Okay, this is literally my first time with these darn things, and I have no clue what I'm doing. But this is going to be small missiles. Small gun. Okay, I need to actually look through this and see what the hell I'm doing. Rail gantry is less durable than normal counterparts. Medium gantry, medium rail gun. Contains 4 missile modules. Contains 4 missile. Generate 4 components. So that contains 4, right? So the rail gantry. Oh yes. Oh, this is going to be good. I have no idea what I'm doing still, but hey, that looks kind of weird now. Can I slap together? Can I say slap together or what? I think I can. Oh, I am already loving this missile mod, and I've literally, this is my first time setting sight on it. Oh, yes. Right. Small rail launcher. Okay. Did I put you on backwards or something? Oh, do I need to do like that? Oh. I think I get it. The rail ones, they have to be side mounted, don't they? Yes, they do. Oh, wow. Yeah, we can work with that. It'll reduce our payload, but we can work with that. Okay. My apologies. I seem to be going over off the deep end at least a little bit. Okay, right, so this is going to be, it's mysteriously floating. It's the advanced technology of my people. Yes, that's my excuse, I'm sticking to it. So, these are these. What can I do to them? I should also probably, if I switch it down to 0.1 speed, because I don't know how long I've got. Okay, camera turning is really slow, but I can move it around just as fast, so, right. Sorry. This is not what I had in mind for this episode at all. But I was not just going to refit the fairy with additional systems. I was going to fit the mic into a small combat version of the mic. I was thinking like small cannons, but now I'm thinking like small missiles. Just some of these strapped to the sides of a mic and call it a quote-unquote defensive unit. Oh, I want to do that now. Oh, I want to do that now. And the best thing is, since these two hulls are built on RTGs, they don't use fuel. They're a bit more expensive, but they don't use fuel, so I don't need to keep them supplied. Well, now what I'm thinking is like, what if I was to put, like box systems in the middle like that? So it's like, it's got a bunch of extra stuff in there. Okay, right. Excuse me. Right. Unfortunately, my 3-week disappearance also means I've not really poked with the updated missile system much. beyond noticing that we don't have the option for extra thrusters, though we can put in secondary torpedo props. That's also new in this sudden update here, so that's good. But in some ways it's a bit harder to go around, in some ways it's a bit easier. In the other one we could just like spam click from our list over here and it would just update all the way down. In this one I don't know how to do that. But from one of the things I noticed is I think we can switch it off to a body piece, and it'll just greatly increase the health of the missile and things like that. Right, basics right now we have got firepower of 0.99. I have no idea what that is. This many small warheads. Oh, this many small warheads per second, 0.99 per second. So fires every second. Really? Active radar seeker, frags, treble fuel. What's its? Yeah, the new missile system gives us a lot of individual stats here. Fuel per second 100, so thrust duration 30 seconds of fuel. That should be plenty. Turns 300 meter turn rate if 36 degrees per second. Over 300 meters. Turn rate 0 meters is 43. Maximum speed is 166. So this is a bit slow. But if these stats are correct for the new piece, these are going to be kind of nasty to deal with. Honestly, I want them to have some decent turning performance on them, like that. So I think I'm going to leave it like that. Maybe drop it to a 20-second thrust time, and in return, gain a additional warhead. Or maybe we should add something else, like maybe I was thinking of a fuse, but I'm not seeing any. As you can see, it's all over the place. Active radar seeker though, absolutely fine. Doesn't need the one turn because that will guide it around. Variable thruster. I need to click on that to actually get the stats. Thrust per second, 100. Yeah, I honestly, there we go. 5-second ramp means it's a bit slower as it goes, but half a second arming delay, stuff like that. Okay, that looks good, I think. But now copy to all matching launch pads. Also, save the new missile. Mini-me missile. There we go. Save you. Mini-me. 12 points. So that should now be a quintet frag, double fuel, treble fin, variable thruster, active radar seeking missile. What the hell? Okay, I'm looking forward to this now. More importantly, I'm looking forward to all this stuff like the an ammo stockpile. Missiles use large amounts of ammunition, so several of these may be required to run your what? I don't need the hatches. Don't need the reverse launch. What the hell's an ammo stockpile when it's at home? Oh, it's there just because of missiles need lots of ammo. I see. But it's actually just a bog standard set of ammo crates and stuff. Right. In the meantime, though, we've got a thing that needs testing. And this is, by the way, why I mounted it in such an awkward way, so it can actually turn upwards like that. Though I actually forgot to install a two things, which we kind of need. First off, a staggered fire. Second off, an IFF. Might be kind of important. Okay, here we go. Oh, yes. Okay, this is going to be great. Looks good. Already reloading. Wait, partially reloaded? Oh, if I keep the firing down, it keeps launching more. So one click fired off one missile from each one. Yes, this is gonna be awesome playing with this new missile stuff. Sorry, I'm getting too excited here. that it's going to play hell with my missile ammunition. I'm going to need more ammo on this thing without a doubt, but... Oh, yes. I wish I still didn't have this cold, though. I must say that. That's why I'm like having to pause. It's like, ooh. Right. Okay, so we've got that thing. That thing is operating without any ejectors as well. So, this thing is a devastating short-range missile system. I want the missiles. I want the ejectors. Pretty please. Where's the ejectors got to? Ejector add-on. There we go. So, every one of these launchers now has a double ejector on it. This craft is meant to like wander around at far range and then go, there's a target over there? Oh wait, not connected. Oh. I can probably only connect it to these ones, can't I? Tell you what, this thing is going to go without any other fancy schmancy ejector add-ons. This is meant to be idiot simple. And it really, really is idiot simple, must admit. Right, we need a little bit of backup though. Metal block, metal beam. No, we need a downslope too. Got to keep the appearances up after all. Downslope one. Yes. So, right. I should probably talk a little bit more about this now that we've got this crazy missile launcher strapped into the side of our ship. While I quickly save this sub-object as a new thingy. Except that. Right. The idea is that these guys are going to be restricted, so they're meant to be like they'll angle appropriately to fire at something on the right side, right? But if the enemy's on the other side, they'll actually angle upwards. So with that in mind, we're going to have some pretty serious firing restrictions set into the thing. Required accuracy set to 180 for allowing indiscriminate firing. Yeah, required accuracy max. Enable concentrates on field of fire. Okay. We want it to not be able to twist quite happily. No, it's not azimuth, it's elevation, isn't it? Yeah, it's an elevation thing. Okay, so an elevation of 0. Yeah, there we go. So it won't try to target things below. And we also need to set 0 behind it as well, so it won't go past the vertical. No, not that one. This one. That should be good. So it won't angle downwards, and it won't go past pointing straight up. At least on that particular one. That should be how I've said it. Let's try it out. No, that's not working quite right. It's because I've got it flat sideways, isn't it? That's what's confusing me. Oh wait, it's because it's over there. Alright. 0, and I guess... 0. I just don't want it facing downwards. Okay, if I set it like that, will that do what I'm wanting? Yeah, pretty much. And then it stops on the bar, but that's okay because it can just go like... Oh, I'm not set to indiscriminate. Oh yeah, because I need to go to the controls. Hang on. I've spent basically my entire episode just like mucking around with this. It's like... indiscriminates for firing missiles, correct. Missile controller. So it's weird, a little bit weird's going on here. Let's see. Sorry, I know. This is not how it's meant to be. It's not how it's meant to be. I just don't want it to face downwards, but other than that, it fires anything. Also, the close button seems to be broken on the turret axis interface. It's not working properly. No! Oh well. So much. There. Whatever. Whatever. I've got side-mounted missiles. Don't care. Required accuracy 0. And I'll also tell it to, you know what, let's just, since we're just mucking around with it, I'm not quite sure what it's doing. I'll just tell it to have required accuracy 0. And I just don't want it facing downwards. So I think I will actually instate that. So elevation needs to be set to 0. Thank you. 0 firing delay, all set. That one should be good. That one should be good as well, I think. Oh no, I don't want to limit rotation speed. Required accuracy. I can set idle elevation though. Yeah, let's set that to 20 degrees. So they'll, by default, be slightly slanted. That's good. I think that's good. This one has to be -20 though, because it's the other orientation. But there we go. So it sits there with its racks just pointing all around it like that. And it's very, very happy. And I, for one, look forward to seeing it in action. Though, of course, we've got some other problems and things, which is the fact that we've actually run out of time because I spent so long just mucking around with the small weapons that are now there. My apologies. Oh well, could be worse, I suppose. I'm struggling to think of how, though. But yeah, this design lacks any kind of sensor pods. It lacks any kind of ability to detect the enemy. So it needs those things putting into it. And we can at the very least put a basic AI connection on the back here, along with a wireless receiver, and attach that one to some detection equipment. We want a laser rangefinder. Actually, no, I'm not going to go with a deck gun. I just want this thing with heavier than missiles. I was going to put a deck gun on this thing as well, but I'm not going to bother now. And a 360 radar. So we've got radar, we've got a rangefinder, which will try to track things. The underside is highly vulnerable. That needs arming off. But yeah, this thing is looking pretty nice as it is, with those massive missile racks strapped on it. That might be a bit much. The question is how well this thing operates when it's undocked. But still, though, I do like how it's looking. Must admit. I really like how it's looking. Oh, there was actually a suggestion of why don't I have this particular craft just sap off the miners. Like, draw excess power from the miners whenever it flies past. And I could have gone with that as a power supply, I must admit. But the thing is that, one, it would have interfered with like this particular battle arrangement, like since I'm refitting it for a combat role, so wouldn't have been the best in that regard. And second is the miners a bit tightly balanced as well, so if one of these drops by and it's too low on power, then we risk basically everything crashing. So, you know, didn't really want to risk a lot of stuff like that. And here we go. Yep. Good time to end it, but this is why I was working on putting together a combat vehicle. Excuse us, Vagrant. Your little camp is right in the way of our tank battalion. We are on our way to cross the dustwind gypsies beneath our treads, and do not want to slow down to go around your little junk pile. Please relocate, or we will have no choice but to roll over you. Now at war with Onyx Watch. These dirt-siders are indeed rising to claim us. And shinies. Ooh, look at the shinies. No rust on them at all. You have so much and we have so little. Maybe you're wanting to give it to us? No, don't get up. We'll come to get it ourselves. You're now at war with the dustbin gypsies. Yeah, I still remember last time I tried to play this campaign as a series, and I actually got the flipping white flayers coming after me first. But yeah, basically now we are at war. Oh. Just lands belong to the Empire. If you're not registered in corporation, the Empire activities are lawless and sanctioned. In times of war, you must also assume your activities are... The hell's going on? Decided to erase you from the face of Netta. Death payments will be made to any of your family found to be loyal citizens of the Empire. Now, war with the Steel Empire. Okay. So, it's not one. I'm at war with 3 people. Lovely. That is... See that? Why am I at war with 3 people at once? That's what I want to know. Oh well, let's unlatch this thing and then end it, because we are almost at the 40-minute mark at this point. So, turn you off. It takes off and steadies itself. And look at this glorious thing. So we've got a battle version of the Fairy. More or less complete. Needs a few tweaks to it, but it's ready for combat-ish. Well, last-minute defense more like, but we kind of need it for that, don't we? We do need the AI able to, you know... We need the AI able to target prioritize. We don't need aim precision, but we do need a connector and stuff like that. My nose keeps clogging up, it's very annoying. And there we go. So, right. We've got space for a few more explosives next to the AI. Yay! So yeah, this thing is basically done. I'm going to tweak a little bit before the next part, so we'll finish it off. But we have ourselves a battle thing, which is in need of a name. It's based on the Material Fairy. And it is literally built with the surprising addition of small, medium and large missiles to the game, literally right when I was deciding to record this thing. So, kind of weird, but there we go. And it looks somewhat dangerous. So, at the very least, it's going to be good against small things. If you have any suggestions or names about it, feel free to let them know down below. And don't worry, the next part will not be another 3 weeks. I personally am aiming for 2 weeks. Or maybe sooner. Probably sooner. Yeah. This has been Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. And I'll catch you all some other time. See you later.